after Brexit passed, Farage sort of retired, took it easy a bit, but after 3 years of the establishment dodging, Farage doubled down in a way. He had left the UKIP party, so he came back and created a new party called the Brexit Party, good name, and they absolutely crushed it in the European Union parliamentary elections last spring. In fact, they were the largest party in the entire European continent in terms of seat count. And they said they were going to contest the British general election just a few months ago. Now, this genuinely panicked the Conservatives. Could Nigel Farage actually become the Prime Minister? Well, sure, why not? If all the other parties were anti-democratic, if they were all in collusion against the people's will, why not? Just to clean them out. Well, quirky Boris Johnson realized maybe Nigel Farage, this is Boris here, that's him when he was mayor of London. Oh, look at that guy. How on earth did he make it as far as he did? He got stuck. Oh, look at him there. He loved his bicycles. Boris Johnson realized that maybe Nigel Farage couldn't actually win and become Prime Minister, but he could certainly make Boris Johnson lose. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, down he goes. Down he goes. Oh, look at that. Look at that. What's he doing? Oh, whoops. And he had that great shock of hair, that white hair. Funny guy, but the funniness was part of it. He was never so, he could roll with it because he wasn't that, I mean, every politician is vain, but he sort of rolled with his goofiness. Anyways, so Boris Johnson realized that Nigel Farage maybe couldn't win, but he could certainly make Johnson lose. So Boris Johnson promised a full Brexit, not a fake halfway version. And in return, Nigel Farage said that his Brexit party in the last national election would not contest safe Conservative seats. It was like an electoral pact. And wouldn't you know it, Boris Johnson now has a very strong majority. And tonight at 11 p.m. UK time, Brexit happened. The UK did leave the European Union. Now, before I stop talking about Johnson, can I show you my favorite Boris Johnson video of all time? Look at this, and then rewind it and watch it again.
What do you do to relax? What do you do to switch off?
I like to paint, or I make things. I like to...
What do you make?
I have a thing where I make models of... when I was in London, mayor of London, we built a beautiful... I make buses.
You make models of buses?
I make models of buses.
So they're going to be in Downing Street?
So what I do... No, what I don't make models of buses, but what I make is... I get old, I don't know, wooden crates.
Yeah.
Right? And then I paint them. And they have two suppose it's a box that's been used to contain two wine bottles, right?
Right.
And it will have a dividing thing.
Yeah.
And I turn it into a bus, and I put passengers. You really want to know this?
You're making buses. You're making cardboard buses. That's what you do to enjoy yourself.
I paint the passengers enjoying themselves.
Okay, great.
On the wonderful bus.
Great.
Do you know what any of that meant? That is the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Who was working harder to keep a straight face there? That interviewer who was just like he was like that the whole time, or Johnson himself. That is so wonderful. That moment was so wonderful. Anyways, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister who made Brexit reality, but the spiritual Prime Minister of this moment, at least, is Nigel Farage. Here are some of his comments from the European Parliament in his last speech there.
Indeed, there's an historic battle going on now across the West, in Europe, America, and elsewhere. It is globalism against populism. And you may loathe populism, but I tell you a funny thing, It's becoming very popular. And it has great benefits. No more financial contributions, no more European Court of Justice, no more common fisheries policy, no more being talked down to, no more being bullied, no more Guy Verhofstadt. I mean, what's not to like? I know you're going to miss us. I know you want to ban our national flags, but we're going to wave you goodbye, and we'll look forward in the future to working with you as sovereign.
If you disobey the rules, you get cut off.
That's so great. And remember, this is the European Union, so a lot of the other MEPs, as they're called, members of the European Parliament, were either leftists from the UK or from other countries. They just loathed Farage. It's sort of a weird thing because they hated them and were basically, get out, get out, get out. But they also wanted to trap them in. It was very strange. In fact, it was just perfect. Some pouty European Union politician who was chairing the session then told him to take his flags and go, which of course was meant as an insult. But if you're Nigel Farage, it's not an insult. That's your life's mission. Look at this.
Please sit down, resume your seats, put your flags away, you're leaving, and take them with you if you are leaving now. And goodbye.
Oh, I thought you didn't want them to take their flag and go. That's a bit of a pickle there. Oh, they're having fun in the UK. I sort of wish I was there tonight. They have this special Brexit coin now. That's an image of it online, but they really have this, and isn't that wonderful? Peace, prosperity, and friendship with all nations. It's very positive. The Remainers said, oh, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be like the Lord of the Flies, zombie apocalypse, the Purge, if you leave. And no, they're geographically not moving further away from Europe. They're just politically becoming distinct. I predict they'll be better friends, If I was in the UK, I'd get those little, I think they're £5 coins, and I would spend them in merchants who were Remainers. How much fun would that be? Leavers wanted Big Ben de Bong for Brexit. You say that fast, eh? Big Ben de Bong for Brexit. But bureaucrats said no to the Big Ben bonging. And they said it was too expensive. What? That's made up, of course. That's an excuse. That's a lie. But it shows you the kind of deep state, even in the bell-ringing bureaucracy, that did everything they could to stop Brexit from happening for 3 years. It's a miracle it actually happened in the end. That's got to be a sign of hope, right? In its own way, the success of Brexit and Farage in the face of such universal condemnation from the elites mirrors the success of Trump and his deplorables. Brexit's democratic will was frustrated for 3 years by the globalist left. The same forces in America who tried to smear Trump as a Russian spy for years. And when that didn't work, they tried to impeach him. All it did was make politics more sour and divided, and show all of us that the establishment sort of hates us and hates our democratic voices. So when will that Brexit and Trump spirit come to Canada? That's what I want to know. Well, for now, that spirit, it's us, my friends. It's you and me. That's an excerpt from the Ezra Levant Show, which is a show I do every day. I do a monologue, interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. But you've got to subscribe to it, which you can do at premium.rebelnews.com.